Okay, so today with our composition practice, I'm going to show you how to insert clips into a new file and also how to edit the clips, how to put transitions in between the clips. So the first thing we want to do is open up Premiere Elements, and then we're going to go to File, New. You're going to create a new project. Alright, so there are three areas that you need to look at when this new project window comes open. First of all, you need to name your project, and you're going to call it CP. We're going to give it the name of CP, which is composition practice, underscore your first initial last name. You want to also save your work in your folder called composition practice. You want to make sure you save your work in that folder. So you're going to go and find it on the computer. You're going to go to My Computer. You're going to click on your U drive, and then from there you're going to click on the folder called composition practice. Say OK. You want to make sure your project settings are set to NTSC AVCHD Full HD 1080i 30. Alright, we always want to work as full HD. We want to make sure it's 1080i with a 30 interlacing. So now we're going to say OK. And now your document is ready for you to insert some media. So now you're going to come over here to add media. You're going to go into your files folder, and you're going to go to your U drive. Actually, your images will not be saved on the U drive. They're going to be saved on your desktop, because when we are working in Premiere Elements, we need to save our work on the desktop. So you should have a folder on your desktop called Composition Practice. So I'm going to have you find that folder called Composition Practice on your U drive. So if I go to my U drive and I go to my desktops, I have a folder called Video Production Classwork, and I'm going to click in there, and then I have a folder called Composition Practice. So I'm going to click on that, and that's where I'm going to find all my files. So I want to select all my files that I'm going to be inserting. So I'm going to highlight all my files, and you can see here that I've highlighted them all. They're all in blue. I'm going to say Open. So what's happening now is it's adding the media to our document that we created. And if we look here in the right hand corner of your document, you'll see the title of your project. So here we've added our media, and now we have what's called our project assets. And these are all our files that we are going to be including in our project that we're creating here. So the first thing we want to get is our full length shot. So I'm going to click on my full length shot, and I'm not going to include the entire clip. I just want to include a couple seconds of this. So I'm going to go ahead. You'll notice that all I did over here was just left click, and it opened up a window here, and this window here allows me to edit my clip. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to do a set in. So I'm going to start right about here, and then Jacob turns his head and looks at Dylan, and then after he turns his head and looks at Dylan, I'm going to stop. Okay. So I've served up my plate of assets. I've went in and trimmed off the fat. I've turned off the fat from the beginning as well as the end of the clip. And now I'm ready to place this along my timeline. We want to make sure that we are in expert view. You will notice at the top here you have quick view and expert view. You want to make sure that you are in expert view. All you have to do is just left click, and you're going to see that you can drag. You're going to left click in your little editing window, and you're going to hold down your left click, and you're going to drag it to your timeline, and we're going to bring it all the way over to the left. Okay, so you'll notice over here on the right side, there's a way to view our clips a little bigger. We can slide it either to the left here, or we could slide it all the way to the right. And let's look what's happening to our clip here. It's getting larger so that we can actually see our clip a little better. Okay, and also we have this little sliding top bar here. What this does is that you need to slide it all the way to the right, because this is our timeline for our clip, and we want to make sure that our film is in between the left side here. This little bar is all the way to the left, and this bar on the right is moved out enough so that we have area in here to add more clips. Okay? Alright, so then the next clip we're going to check out, and we're going to see if there's anything we want to add. Well, this is a full length shot, and well, we could add that. But that might not really make sense because we have the first clip. So looks like they forgot to add their mid-range shot. So they forgot to film their mid-range shot. So what we're going to do is go back to this first clip that we added here, and let's see if maybe we can include another part of this. So maybe we could go back over here, or not even worry about it actually. Let's just not worry about it. So now we're going to go into the joke. We're going to just go straight into the joke. We're going to skip the mid-range shot, and we're going to look at our joke. Well, so here we have Dylan first. Okay, so we're going to play his clip here. Oh, he started talking. Okay, I put the set in, but probably a little bit too late. So I'm going to slide the set in back a little bit, and then I'm going to move this cursor over, and then I'm going to play. All right. He said, "Hey, Jacob." He stopped, and now I'm going to do the set out. I'm going to move this over just a little bit more just to make sure we have the full sentence or the full line. So we're going to start about there. I'm going to go play. Okay, so that looks good. So now this is going to come down, and we're going to line it right up next to the next clip right here, just right up to the very edge of the clip. Now we're going to pull up the response, and we're going to play this one. Well, that one didn't work, so let's try 52. Okay, he said, "What you want, Dylan?" We're going to slide this out just a little bit to make sure we don't cut off what he's saying. Okay, so that looks good. So we're going to bring that down now and line it up right next to the other one, and we're going to close that out. Now we're going to come to the next clip, and we're going to listen to that. Okay, so maybe we'll set right there and we'll play. No eyes. He stops. Set out. I think I'm going to slide this just slightly back a little bit and then move our cursor over here and play. Alright, so that looks good. We're going to take that and drag it down to our timeline, and we're going to make it right next to the other one. We're going to close that out. And now I am going to come down, and it looks like we've got him responding. Oh, he says, "I don't know." Okay, so let's start that again. He said, "I don't know, what do you call it?" And then we stop. It looks like we need to go just a little bit to the left here. Put our cursor back and play. Okay. So that looks good. Now we're going to drag that down and put it right next to the other one and go to the next clip. So here we've got a real close up on the we'll try the second one. That might be better. We stopped that, so we got that now, and gonna bring it down and put it right next to it. Good, and stop. And then I'm going to listen to his response here. Oh, he does a face. So looks like I want to start that set in right before he makes that face. Okay, it looks like we have to go back a little bit. I want to set it in right before he makes that face. There we go. And stop. Now I'm going to take that and bring it down to our timeline. Okay, I have to move this out a little bit. Good. Let's see if this clip makes sense here. Looks like it's Isaiah's. I don't think Isaiah's is supposed to be here. Nope. This is the wrong clip for this one, so I'm going to clear that clip. And I'm going to put in, and I'm going to go 59, which is kind of a dramatic expression, maybe continuing from clip 57, and I think that works. And alright, so that one looked like that would work, so put that in. Okay, so then when you think you have all your clips in, I'm going to just bring this down. You want to slide this out so that it fits it all the way in between this gray area here. I'm now going to play my entire film and let's see what we got here. Okay. And okay, so it looks okay so far. It looks okay so far. Alright, so then let's play that again. They're looking at each other. Hey Jacob, what you want, Dylan? What do you call a fish with no eyes? I don't know. What do you call it? Fish. And then he has this funky look on his face, and then it even gets closer, and they come in close with the camera. And so far that looks okay. So next step is we have to render this. You can either click on render or you can click on enter. Alright, I'm just gonna actually I haven't added any transitions, so it doesn't look like I need to render quite anything at this point yet. So now I'm going to come down here to transitions. I'm going to do a cross dissolve. I'm going to click right up here, choose my dissolve, and I'm going to do a cross dissolve transition in between the clips. Transition, cross dissolve. In the middle of the clip, transition, cross dissolve. In the middle, transition, cross dissolve. Done. Transition, cross dissolve. And that one doesn't look like it will let me do it in the middle, but let me try. Okay, yeah, I can. Transition, cross dissolve. In the middle, transition, cross dissolve. And that's all of them. So now I do need a render. I can either click on render or I can enter and it'll render. Now this takes some time. You'll notice that it tells you the progress up here, how many clips have to be rendered, and it gives you the estimated time that it'll take to render. So you just kind of have to wait patiently. You'll notice that it's going green along this bar here. It goes green, 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 yellow, and then now that we have our cross dissolve, you see how nice we are able to flow between the scenes. Those nice flowing between the scenes is what adds that adding that cross dissolve is what brings that effect. Okay, so now let's save our document. It's always a good idea to save the document every so often. And this is the first step. From here, I'm going to have you add in a text with your credits. But for now, this is where we'll stop, and then I'll show you later how to add text, credits, and a title, and so forth to this project later on.